What's up, friends? Carnivore Invictus here, or I guess maybe for the next 2 or 3 weeks you can call me Carnivore Kratos again. I got my Nordic Kratos beard going. It's kind of a tradition at my fire department to let us grow beards for November and December in exchange for making a donation to charity. But I'll probably have to shave it in after the new year. Make America healthy again. We're gonna do it. It's a movement. People love your movements. You want to be a part of something. The groupthink mentality, and most of you are so beaten down that you just like accept any small like crumb of just, you know, bread that they scrape off the table at you. So in addition to living the carnivore primal lifestyle, you might have noticed that I am also a very radical free market anarchist, voluntarist, agorist. I do not like the government at all. I don't think it has any use in society at all. And 999 times out of 1,000, whenever some kind of movement is in place to have government fix a problem, it's first of all, they're only fixing problems that they create, and second of all, they're maneuvering behind closed doors to figure out how to make it seem like they've done something when they've really done nothing at all. And that's exactly what the Make America Healthy movement is. So the big thing now is red dye, and I heard it's like red dye number 3. What about red dye number 40? Nobody's talking about red dye number 40. That was a really bad one. But what people don't really understand is, you know, you're getting rid of one harmful ingredient out of literally tens of thousands that they're allowed to use. And like, here's the problem. You went to a government school where you were indoctrinated, fully indoctrinated. I mean, it's taken me years to unlearn this, to get this virus out of my brain that, you know, that the FDA and the USDA and all of these regulatory agencies were created by the government to protect you from the corporation. It was never the case. It was always a lie. Every time they do something like that and they push it to you as a protection for you, it's a protection for them. It's a protection for the corporation. It always has been. I'm not a Michael Moore fan, but he made that documentary about the American healthcare system. And you can ignore almost probably everything else he says about the American healthcare system, but he does play a segment from the Nixon tapes where the HMO is being sold to him as a complete boon for the industry at the expense of the consumer. And then he goes on TV and announces it as the complete opposite. It's on tape. It's irrefutable. And that's what our healthcare system is. That's what our medicine system is. That's what our money system is. The Federal Reserve System. It was all created, the FDIC, it was all created and marketed as a protection for you, and it was protection the entire time for the corporations that it supposedly protects you from. It's like the fox is guarding the hen house, by design. That's how it's always worked, and you're delusional if you think it's going to work any other way. We have 6,000 or 7,000 years of history of the state to show us that a bureaucracy, once it's created, is never dissolved, is never shrunk. They say it's all a tax. We're just going to have this tax until we pay for this. I'm from New Jersey. We have tolls on the Garden State Parkway that were only supposed to exist until they collected enough money to pay for the construction of the parkway. So they constructed the parkway, and they said we're going to pay for it using tolls along the parkway. And then once the parkway is paid off, we'll get rid of the tolls. And not only do those tolls still exist, they are exponentially larger than they were when they were created. When I was growing up, it was 35 cents per toll. And now it's like $3. It is unbelievable what they've done. That's government. That's bureaucracy. That is its nature. It feeds on itself, and you'll never get rid of it. The only way you're going to get rid of a bureaucracy or shrink the size of government is when it collapses under its own grotesque weight and society crumbles like the Soviet fucking Union. That's the only way. And I know you want to have hope. You just want to be part of something, and they give you these hopes and these beautiful words, and they're all lies. Even if they believe it themselves, that they're all lies. You know what I mean? Like, RFK Jr. may have done great things for health outside of the machine, but now he's a part of the machine, and the machine will either assimilate him into the machine, or they will chew him up and spit him out, and nothing will take place. They'll get rid of the FDA wants to ban red dye, but not the tens of thousands of other chemicals that they're allowed to add off-label via a corporate loophole that allows them to do so. Because if you knew what these substances were, you wouldn't buy the product. They're protecting their bottom line. So anytime you see artificial or natural flavors, that's what it is. It's garbage that's in there that they don't want to tell you about, because if you knew, you'd be like, that's poison, I'm not going to eat it. Not like you read labels anyway. Nobody reads labels. That's why everybody's, oh, I'm not going to eat crickets. Yes, you are. They're going to put it in your Hot Pockets, and you're going to eat them. And then I'm going to come along and say, there's crickets in your Hot Pockets, and you're going to be like, well, I guess I'm eating crickets then, because them shits are delicious. That's how you work. That's how the average person works. You're an addict. Admit it, you're an addict. You're more addicted to these ultra-processed foods than you are to heroin, than a heroin junkie is to heroin. And it's designed that way. They hire chemists to make these foods addictive, not only to create flavor combinations of sugar, salt, and fat, to make them hyper palatable, but also the chemicals, MSG, and all of these chemical flavor enhancers. They are all highly addictive. They go right to the pleasure centers of your brain the same way street drugs do. And type 2 diabetes is a sugar overdose. It's an overdose of narcotics. Sugar. Everybody's like, well, no, sugar's not a drug. Sugar's found in nature. Yeah, well, go walk out into nature and see how much sugar you can find. And then go to the grocery store and see how much sugar's in the grocery store. And tell me it's not a narcotic. You can't find sugar in nature. You might find it, like I live in the South. I might find some wild dewberries, which is like a wild blueberry, like a blackberry. I might find those for about 3 or 4 weeks of the year. And good luck finding one that's ripe and it has, that's not bitter, because the birds get to it before you do. So, everybody's like, oh, honey is healthy. Healthy's natural. Yeah, go out in nature and find honey. Go ahead. Go find honey in nature. And they've got shelves of it in the grocery store. And it's all fructose. Fructose is the worst sugar. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents. The point of it is that it is your responsibility. Even if you took all of those harmful chemicals out of Doritos, it still wouldn't be food for human beings, because corn is not food for humans. The Native Americans ate it. Yeah, they ate it, when they were starving, when the buffalo weren't around or whatever, or they, wheat, they call it ancient grains. Like cancer and heart disease didn't exist in humans until you started adding bread. And yeah, it wasn't the epidemic that it is now. So everybody's like, oh, go back to the way bread was 50 years ago, or the way they have it in Italy and France. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah, the obesity epidemic was less back then, but and also the chronic disease epidemic wasn't as bad, but it was still there. We're just fooling ourselves and kidding ourselves into thinking that, you mistake better for good. It's how it always is. Like, people have memories of the first Trump presidency, and things were better. And they say things were better, and things are so bad now that they think things were good under Trump. Things were not good under Trump. They just weren't. Things have never been good. They've just been relatively worse, as you know, relatively less worse as you go backwards in time. Things were better under Barack Obama. You hated Barack Obama, but things were better under Barack Obama. Things were better under George W. Bush and Clinton and Bush 41 and Reagan and even Carter. Things were freaking great under Carter compared to what they are now. So don't mistake better for good, and don't settle for better over good. Things are so freaking bad that to accept better is just, you're just kidding yourself. You really just want someone else to solve your problems for you and pretend things are better so you can watch football. And I'm here to tell you, if you want a better world, if you want things to get better, then you just need to put those things away right now. Those things are not for people who want to live in a free society while currently, living in a giant slave farm, a tax cattle, I don't know, it's early in the morning. A tax cattle paddock, people who don't want to live in that don't have time or the energy to watch football and drink beer. The economy is dying, and if we're going to survive, we need to start rebuilding outside of that system. Because if we're, the food system's being dismantled, the energy system's being dismantled, the currency is being dismantled, and it's a controlled demolition. And they have much, much worse things in store once all of that is broken down, once all of that is taken out. Much worse things are in store for you. So I've gone on a bunch of tangents here, but the basic point of what I'm trying to say is that the government cannot or will not solve the problem, because they are the problem. They are not, they didn't just cause the problem. They are the problem. Their very existence is the problem, because you're too busy living your life to have to deal with this kind of shit, while the people who are greedy and want to make all of the money go to the government behind closed doors while you're mowing your lawn and spending time with family and working your 9 to 5 and they're going to the bureaucrats and the politicians, and they're greasing their palms, and they are paying them to skew the market in their favor at your expense. And that's how government is. That's what government is. That's what it always has been. That's what it always will be. And if you want to really make the world better without just bullshitting yourself, then you just need to get with that reality and stop pretending. And stop looking for saviors, especially saviors within this system. You are not going to fix the matrix by staying in the matrix. You got to get out of the matrix in order to destroy it. So anyway, I'm at the gym. It's my shiny happy talk for today. I sound like I don't have hope, and I did a video the other day about not having hope. But there is hope if we're realistic, if we diagnose the problem correctly and work to fix it. But we are not diagnosing the problem correctly. The problem is the existence of government in and of itself. So you're trying to cure cancer by reforming the cancer cell instead of just getting rid of it. So, love you guys. I'll talk to you there. Go to the gym, eat healthy, eat meat, eggs, and butter. If you can eat vegetables if you want to, but cut out the seed oils, the processed carbs, and the sugar first and foremost, and then you can go from there. But those are the things that are killing you the most. All right, bye.